Hey everybody, Kyle here with Spicer Designs. I know things didn't start off right between us, but I just want you to know I forgive you. Welcome back to the channel. You were a real piece of crap for a long time, but not anymore. Not anymore. All right, today's video I was trying to post for Wednesday and it ended up becoming my Saturday video because my Saturday video isn't quite ready yet. It's kind of a bigger project that I'm working on. So for all of my regular viewers, I'm sorry if this is not something that you're interested in, but it's kind of a big deal for me. So if you want to watch, great. If not, I understand. Now, as some of you may know, I had a lot of issues with this truck. Not so much the truck itself, but more specifically, the 3.0 Duramax engine. Now, just to be clear, my truck is a 2020 Chevy Silverado half-ton. It's got the 3.0 Duramax in it, the LM2. Since then, they have a new version of this 3.0 Duramax, and that is currently the LZ0. My main issues were oil consumption and depth consumption. Come to find out, those two kind of went hand in hand with the issue that we found out it was having. Now, over a series of events, the issue is now resolved. Yeah, buddy. And here's a quick recap leading up to where we're at now. Now, I don't want to drag this thing out. I want to get right to the solution because this video can help a lot of people that may be having an issue that they don't even know they have. Now, roughly 6 or 7 months ago, I posted this video where I basically stated that my 3.0 Duramax eats oil. Here it is, GM's 3.0 Duramax. We're not doing the pointer thing again. No. I got a lot of flack over that video, a lot of controversy, a lot of people flat out calling me a liar. Now, where I first noticed this was when we were moving down here to our new property. It's about 4 hours away from our old property. And I was making a trip down here basically every single day, towing a trailer weighing anywhere from 3,000 to 6,000 pounds. And what I noticed was every time I would make a round trip, which was roughly around 500 to 600 miles, I was burning about a quart of oil, which is totally unacceptable, not normal. So then I made a follow-up video where I cleared up some of the discrepancies in the first video and proved my case by performing a towing test where I went and picked up my excavator from Oklahoma, which was about a 1,200 mile round trip. I was pulling about 9,000 pounds, which is basically the max tow for my truck, which is a 2020 LM2. And I consumed 2 quarts of oil in 1,200 miles. Again, unacceptable. And just to be clear, the max tow on the 2020 LM2 and the 2021 is 9,300 pounds. I had a lot of people telling me that it was 13,000 pounds. That is incorrect. 2020 to 2021, it is 9,300 pounds. And then in 2022, they then bumped up the max tow to 13,300 pounds. Now, even though I caught a bunch of over those videos, mostly the first one, I'm glad that I posted them. Because of that, a viewer reached out to me, and it turns out he is a GM service manager at a Chevy dealer in Western Massachusetts, and his name is Tim. So huge thanks to Tim, because Tim went out of his way, and when I say out of his way, I mean he went out of his way. He did not need to do this. As a matter of fact, my own Chevy dealer in town wouldn't even look into this for me. So here, a complete stranger reached out, got the VIN number off of my truck, put a team together like freaking detectives, researched the issue, and they found the problem. That was great in itself. But then Tim went even further, reached out to my Chevy dealer, and basically talked them into ordering the parts and fixing this thing for me without even seeing the truck. So my Chevy dealer then called me, scheduled everything, they ordered the parts, went in, it's now fixed. Okay, that's it for the build-up. Now let's get to what the issue was. So when Tim got his team together, they started doing some research on the truck and the issues I was having, and more important, the history of my truck. And what they had found was that I had recently had number 2 glow plug replaced. So along with all the oil consumption issues I was having, my check engine light came on, took it into the Chevy dealer, and they found that my number 2 glow plug was bad, so they went ahead and replaced it. And that was the key to this whole thing. Now at the time, and probably still at the time that you watch this video, GM still does not have anything put together that's going to flag that number 2 glow plug replacement and attach it to the issue that we had, which they do have a service bulletin on, which we're gonna look at here in just a minute. There's Tim right there, always freaking texting me. Tim, that really was you texting me. I asked if he had a minute to talk, and he said, "No, I really don't like you." I'm just kidding. He said, "Give me 2 minutes." All right, let's take a look at the bulletin. Damn it, I'm scrapping the stool and I'm done with this. This service bulletin number is 22-N as in nipple, A as in areola, -027. I don't care who you are, that's funny. You could see right here, 3.0 LM2 diesel with possible oil consumption with or without DTC P06 DD. June 14th, 2022. I do not know what DTC P06 DD is. I don't know if that's a code, and I really don't care. Moving on down, here are the different models that this affects. The Escalade 2021, 2022, the Silverado 1500, 2020, 2021. Shows some VIN number attachments there. Suburban, Tahoe, Sierra 1500, Yukon, but they all show the LM2. So if you have an earlier LM2, this is a very important video for you. All the countries that it involves, okay. Condition. Some customers may comment on oil consumption. Some technicians may find DTC P06 DD set. Again, I don't know what that is. I'm thinking it might be a code. Cause, the camshaft housing or cover may have a baffle plate weld that is not adequate. Here is a picture of that, and here is a picture of the one that they pulled off of my truck. I requested to see it after they pulled it off, for one, just so I knew that it actually was pulled off. And I was hoping to see that baffle weld that failed, but unfortunately it is molded inside of that plastic housing, so you can't actually see the baffle. So here is the Julian date label that is actually on the camshaft housing. And here's what they're telling us. If the serial number is greater than 21298 JD XXX, this JD stands for Julian date. That is just a date that they use to track these parts and when they were manufactured, all that good stuff. That Julian date is not important to us, so the last 5 digits of this number right here, the 10119, that is not important to us. We're looking at these first 5 numbers right here, the 19252. So then right here below it, if the serial number is less than 21298 and the customer's concern is oil consumption, replace the camshaft housing cover and replace number 2 glow plug, which is what I already had done, and that was the one key factor that stuck out to Tim and his team, which enabled them to find this service bulletin. So we are looking for a number that is less than 21298, and here is a picture of the serial number that I took off of my camshaft housing on my truck, which is 19205, and that is below the number in the service bulletin. So that in fact tells me that I had the defective camshaft housing. This is great information here. Now I'm going to show you some old footage here before I took my truck in to get it fixed. Here I'm going to show you exactly how to find out if your serial number is within that range and exactly how to check that and where it's located at in the engine. All right, so the way I understood this was I'm supposed to remove the oil fill cap, remove this plastic Duramax cover here, and there's supposed to be some foam underneath here, and if I peel it away, there's supposed to be a Julian number, like a little serial number or a manufacturer date, and that is the number that we're looking for right now. So let's give it a try. What do we got? Probably some freaking 10 millimeter, I bet. Everything's 10 millimeter. Where in the fuck is that wrench? Yep, 10 millimeter. What do you know? Oh yeah. And I'm going to put the oil cap back in so I don't drop anything in it. Okay, where in the hell is this freaking cover? Where's the foam? I don't see any foam. Oh, that's the foam. Right there. All right, we'll get our bearings straight here. This is where the Duramax plastic cover, oil fill, right down here. See this black? It looks like it's plastic, but it's not. It's soft. It's like a rubber foam. So I'm guessing that that's it, and I need to peel that away a little bit so I could find this Julian number. So let me pry on this a little bit, and if I find it, I'll update you. Okay, update. I found the part number that we're looking for. Here is the fuel fill. And then you can see just to the left of it, if we're facing the truck, of course, we've got our mounting hole for the Duramax plastic cover. And then right below that, you can see there is a QR code right there. That is the sticker. So literally, if you stick your thumb down in here, there's that piece of foam, you lift it up, that sticker is right there. Now, I was able to get my phone in there to get a picture of that number. that I could send to the Chevy dealer. I mean, they can do this for you as well, but it's pretty easy to do on your own. It only takes like 15 minutes. But the very bottom number is the one I'm looking for, and mine is 19205-10172. Sorry. Okay, so again, that was old footage before I took this thing in. It is now a different number because they since removed that camshaft housing. So the way Tim explained this to me, as far as what actually causes this whole thing and causes the oil consumption, there's a baffle inside of that camshaft housing where a weld is inadequate or it fails. It allows oil to pass by, and there is a breather. The breather is located near number 2 cylinder, which then allows that oil to pass through that breather or some kind of a valve there. The first cylinder hits is number 2, which usually takes out number 2 glow plug. Now my truck has 56,000 miles on it, so I've been dealing with this issue for quite a while. And because of that, that issue has actually gotten even worse. And when I took it in to have this repair done, they actually ended up replacing number 3 and number 5 glow plug as well as number 2. So that is where all of my oil was going. It was being burned through the engine, which leads us to the next problem, the DEF consumption. Now the DEF consumption was another big discrepancy in my previous videos.
Should buy some
You ever
cats.
been pissed on by a cat? Me neither.
But I wasn't lying, I was consuming way more DEF. Now the whole purpose of the DEF is to counteract some of the impurities that a diesel motor produces, and by having oil passing through into the cylinders was creating more impurities, which was then telling the emission system that it needs to be cleaned more, and it was consuming more DEF. Case closed. So the moral of the story is, if you have a 2020 or a 2021 LM2 3.0 Duramax in your vehicle, and you have had a glow plug replaced, whether it's number 2 or any of the other ones, it is worth checking the serial number on that camshaft housing to see if your vehicle is affected by that service bulletin. The oil consumption issue is way more noticeable when you're towing. Having that extra load on the motor creates more pressure and allows that oil to pass through easier, and you're definitely gonna notice that oil consumption a lot more. Now when you're not towing, the oil consumption isn't all that bad, and it may be difficult to notice between oil changes, but the key thing to look out for is if you've had glow plugs replaced or if you have glow plug codes being thrown, you might wanna check that serial number on that camshaft housing. Now I know this was a little bit more of a serious video, not my normal typical video for a Saturday, so I do apologize again for that. I've got a bunch of projects going on right now. They'll all be coming out here soon. And just to be clear, to any new viewers on the channel that are having issues with their truck and that's why they're visiting, for one, I'd love for you to stick around. We got a pretty good variety on the channel, but this is not a truck channel. It just so happens that I own one of these 3.0 Duramaxes and I had this experience with it, and I have a YouTube channel, so I chose to share it. Now, most important, I want to give a huge thanks to Tim and the team that he put together to find out what was wrong with my truck. And this just shows the importance of having a dealership and a service tech or a service team that is willing to go the extra mile for you as the customer to resolve issues like this one. So if you have a relationship like that with your dealer, whether you have a Ford or a Chevy or a Dodge, whatever, cherish that. It is priceless. Because as much as you would expect that service from every single dealer, you're not always going to get it. And that was the case for me with my local dealer. Nothing against them, they just weren't familiar with that service bulletin. These motors aren't that common amongst all of the other gas motors that are out there. So again, huge thanks to Tim. Huge thanks to Lynn, Tim's wife, for putting up with all of the long phone calls. Tim and I actually became buddies throughout this whole thing, which is awesome. I actually got invited to their family Easter. I know he's joking, but I really think that he would welcome me to his family Easter. So super nice guy, super nice family. And if you have an issue with your truck and you need Tim's advice, his number is 8675-3099. Just kidding, I can't give out his phone number. That would be bad. Anyways, that's gonna wrap it up for this one. I hope this video was helpful for you if you are having issues with your 3.0 Duramax. Please hit that freaking like button. I would very much appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel, even though it's not a truck channel. I do a lot of cool shit here. At least I think so. Anyways, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. God, that was a lot of talking. This video is not gonna perform well. I could just feel it. I could feel it in my groin. Adams Polishes Quick Detailer. It's good right there. And these buffing towels, freaking amazing. I will have links down in the description. But most important, God damn it! Freaking Keystone time in or what? 2 o'clock, damn it. Damn it! Yeah, buddy. Giddy up.